Up in the booth with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and kickoff straight ahead, CD. What's one thing that you're going to have your eye on?
I think about what the great coaches of the past always said. The key to any ball game. Can you rush theirs and protect yours? Well, in this case, both of these teams get after the quarterbacks. I'm watching the pass rush.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, Williams. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. Touchdown, Giants. Ricky Williams, 67 yards. And the Giants are going to take a first quarter lead. You talk about explosion plays. There's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate. Big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. On the carry, here's Marshawn Lynch. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They run again on 1st down, Lynch. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
It looks way too easy right now. 2 carries, 2 straight first down runs. The eyes are carrying the legs to the proper hole, but they're being created by an offensive line that has the leverage game going for him right now. Lower than the defensive front, creating space, and he's finding it in a big way. Gotta love what they're doing on offense right now.
They'll run with Barry Sanders. Room to run inside the 40. And finally brought down at the 31-yard line. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, They want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
Tempo, baby, let's go. Let's go to work. Come on. Front left, front left. There.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
But when it all comes together and you get the field goal block that's been designed, that's been drawn up, everyone has to feel good about it on that side of the ball. How about that one there? To the left side, knew what they had. That's where they wanted to be, and they got their designated guy turned free.
So now a chance for points in the opposite direction after the blocked field goal. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35.
Now, Barney! Gun! All right, here we go.
On 3rd down, Elway. Man open, it's Moss, complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They stick to the ground game on 1st down. It's Williams. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Now a handoff. Here's Williams. And able to work his way down to the 16. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9, and it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
On 3rd down, here's Williams. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Play fake here on 1st down. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Daniil Hunter able to drop him for a loss of 4. It's 2nd and goal back to the 8-yard line now. He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. They'll try to run it in. It's Williams. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave them with a 4th and goal.
This offense bent the defense in their long drive downfield, but once they got within sight of the goal line, the defense went to don't break mode and is stiffened.
The career leader in field goals made knocks that one through. And the lead moves to 10-zip.
An automatic Morton Anderson does it again, knocks another one through the posts. I have to be careful because it's almost boring, just how accurate he is. So he knocks another one through.
All-time NFL leading scorer. He's known as the Great Dane because he's from Copenhagen. And I think, Charles, he actually leads 2 different franchises in scoring, does he not?
Well, at one time he did. New Orleans Saints, 13 seasons there, still the all-time leading scorer with them. And the Atlanta Falcons, he held that record, but Matt Bryant has since passed him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurtling through them.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Big jumbo! Big jumbo! Big jumbo!
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Ryan Shazier in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
14.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime.
Let's go get it right here. Come on.
On first down, Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for the great one, Jerry Rice. And now it's 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll indeed go for it with Wilson. He's going to float this over the middle deep. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Giants are going to take over in great field position. They'll hand it off now. Williams. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Off the play fake. Elway. He's going to look deep down the field. And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. Randy Moss in the final second. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis, thrilled to be with you from the broadcast booth. And, partner, before we get this thing started, what are you going to be watching?
Who gets off to a fast start? In horse racing terms, it
Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
And wow, a gamble here right off the bat, an onside kick to begin the game. And the Chiefs are going to make the recovery. So an onside kick fail in the first quarter. Not sure I completely see the logic there.
It's not apparent, is it? You almost have to go deeper, I think, and maybe if we try and work along with them and speculate a little bit here, they must feel like they need to steal possessions in this game, and maybe they don't match up possession for possession with the opposite team. They got to steal it and try and gain an advantage.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Rob Woodson, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Elway. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. DJ Moore, 60 yards. And the Giants are going to take a first quarter lead. And his kick is good. Well, look at this. They got the 7-0 lead in the pocket, and they're going to try an onside kick. And the Chiefs are going to make the recovery. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Mahomes. Drops it off to Ajayi. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Forced out to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep back over them. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Hall of Famer Ronnie Lott. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Gone! Here we go now.
After the interception, here's Elway. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Randy Moss, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Giants strike quickly here for 6 points. Extra point by Anderson, up and good. And it's now 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. They go play fake. Mahomes rolling to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Geno Atkins busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
To throw, it's Mahomes. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it. That makes him now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on third down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They do go for it. It's Mahomes. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Howie Long in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
I don't know why you would do that. It's almost guaranteed points the other way. I mean, I get it if it's a late-game situation, maybe even 4th and inches. But, boy, that's a huge risk to take.
Yeah, now they're set up in prime position going the other way. On first, they'll throw with Elway. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Randy Moss with his second touchdown of this. And hi again, everybody. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, when you and I were going through our final run-throughs at breakfast, we kept thinking tonight we're going to get to see a couple of very good passing offenses.
And we're talking about both sides having multiple receivers that can have an impact on this game. It's not just one guy that's going to make all the plays. If you take him away, maybe number 2, number 3, they make the big plays that impact who wins the game.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. And he'll power his way up near the 25. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Now on second down, this is Gurley. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Fletcher Cox there for the tackle.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. Operating from the gun. Murray buying time to his left. He finds Beckham complete. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a first down.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
11 more on that one, and another first down.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Ready? Yellow lady?
Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Odell Beckham that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And some space here. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. Here's Breeze to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. 6-time Pro Bowler Calvin Johnson, the intended target. And it's 3rd down.
We talk all the time about playmakers on offense, but let's face it, there are plenty of playmakers on defense, too. I think we just saw an example of one, didn't we? Not force that incompletion.
Yeah, he's a great corner. They got a couple of them on that side of the football. Steps away to his left. And this is going to be incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Now Morton Anderson for the field goal try. From the right hash, this from 48. And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
The first carry now for Ricky Williams. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now Williams. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Oh, and now he bowls him over. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
The way this game is going, the way that they possess the ball on the other side of the field, you go 3 and out here, you might not see the ball again until the second quarter.
Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with a football here as we begin quarter number 2. They'll run it with Williams. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
On the ground, this is Williams. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Earl Thomas in on the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Tackle there going to Marshawn Lattimore. On 3rd down, that's Williams. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, and what a terrific play, holding him to no gain.
So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal. So
maybe now the mentality changes in this game, because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. For the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just...
And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Howie Long. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Throwing on 3rd and long. Murray looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And he'll take this back down inside the 20. They were looking for Johnson that time. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, That doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Yep. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. The best way to do it, touchdowns.
And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Ray Lewis up from his linebacker spot to make the play.
I think when people start talking about the greatest Ravens of all time, Ray Lewis's name comes up pretty fast, doesn't it? Tackles like that, just the tip of the iceberg when you start to talk about his talents.
He was their second pick after the move to Baltimore. What was that, 96?
Yeah, 1996. Jonathan Ogden was the first.
And Ray Lewis also two-time Super Bowl champion and the MVP of Super Bowl 35. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Ricky Williams from 17 yards out. And the Giants add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to air one out. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. 6-time Pro Bowler Randy Moss, the intended receiver. And it's second down. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, second and 10. Throwing again. Murray. He's going to launch this thing way downfield into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Williams. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number one. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Williams. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. So we've reached halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the Giants out in front. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half.
There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Giants. Ricky Williams, his second touchdown of the night. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what. Well, his first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Here's Murray. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation. But sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Williams finding some room at midfield. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. The busy night continues for Williams. Into the secondary again. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Ricky Williams, a 21-yard touchdown run. And thanks to the interception, the Giants offense cashes in with 6. Extra point by Anderson, up and good. And the lead is now 24. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Murray. Dancing to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Ryan Shazier able to drop him for a loss of 4.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of...
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Rod Woodson with a pick. Fights through, and now a crease. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Maybe he telegraphed it a little bit right there. You've got a quarterback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback. He stepped in and picked it.
You think he had a great week of preparation, looking forward to this opportunity? And the second part of that is, when you're a young quarterback, you are going to stare down targets, but oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. Makes it a little bit tougher for him.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hurry up, here we go.
They run it again with Williams. Williams loses the football, but I believe the Giants got this back and they will hold on to the possession.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And they'll run it here. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Demario Davis there on the stop.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now carry number 20 of the game. Here's Williams fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. The Giants on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. And they get 10 yards there and convert on 3rd. Now here. Happy to be on hand. I'm Brandon Gaudin with Charles Davis. And before we kick, partner, your keys to the game, please.
Well, my keys are on the defensive side of the ball for both teams. And the big one, making sure you avoid giving up the big play. These safeties are going to get tested all game long. Their job, keep the ball in front of them, tackle people, make them run extra plays in order to try and score.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to... Only the 14-yard line.
Let's go. We're on the ball after this. Lock in.
Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Almost unstoppable on the ground there, as that one is good for 39. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
Lock in. Hey, 18.
And they'll run it for the first time with Ricky Williams. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Let's go. Move. Gotta go.
Now it's Trubisky. And this one is incomplete. Calvin. Johnson, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Let's go. Hey, 18. Put up. 80. Red, up. Gotta go. Run.
Out of the gun, Trubisky. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. Now Sanders. Just a 25-yard punt, not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. They'll run it for the first time with Williams. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
Leopard! Leopard!
On 3rd down, that's Williams. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
So here we go. Elway on 4th down. And he locates Walker, complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 36.
Here we go. Over.
And they'll go on the ground. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
When you think about big-time middle linebackers, you do think about the strength and the force that they play with, as we just saw there from Brian Urlacher. But what an athlete. Remember, he was a safety in college at the University of New Mexico.
And in the NFL Defensive Player of the Year back in 05, also Bears all-time leading tackler, almost 1,800 of them. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with a football here as we begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. And they'll run it here. And an alley to run. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Brian Urlacher, the big middle linebacker, in on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a carry for Allen. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 4 yards on the pickup there, as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st. Here's Allen. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. Anderson's kick is good. And the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead.
So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive. So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field.
And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football. Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not pump the ball again.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Trying to lay one up deep. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Ramsey. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
They begin the drive on the ground with Allen. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. On second down, Elway. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half. Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now Elway on third and long. And complete to the tight end Walker, right side. The 21 yards there as they convert on third. And on display right there, the arm that made John Elway a lot of money.
And that's going to leave a mark because when he throws it with that much force, one of the best arms the game has ever seen, one of the strongest ones, it does leave a mark. They actually called it the Elway cross because you can see the imprint on a player after he caught one of those bullet passes.
In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Kyle Fuller, the one to make the tackle. Well, we know he's an electric runner. Earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to bottle him up at different levels. That was your suggestion. Some mixed results.
Yeah, certainly, because we have seen him bottled up at times. We've seen him play him very well. We've also seen him pop the cork a few times and get out of there, haven't we?
We have indeed.
Here we go now.
On second down, Williams. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Here's Elway. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Elway. Open man, it's Jeremy Shockey. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Fourth down, no problem. 19 yards that time, but now it's 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They go back to the ground with Williams. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Eddie Jackson with a tackle.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst track.
Trying to force it to his tight end, Walker, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and he's got daylight. It's a foot race. 20, 10. And they will score a pick six for a Bears touchdown. Charles, I'm looking at you, and understandably, your mouth is wide open in disbelief. What were they thinking?
That's going to be one of the great mysteries, but I do know this. When they went out on offense, I will guarantee they told them, don't just make anticipatory throws. Make sure you see it before you throw it. Didn't happen here.
Trying to protect that lead, and now they gave it up. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. On 2nd down, Elway. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Gronkowski got it on the crossing route. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
On first down, Murray. Throw right side, going to be complete to Moss. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Ohio! 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 Flex round! Flex round!
Throwing on first down, Murray. Reels it in over the middle. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. The career leader in field goals. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. So we reach halftime with the visiting Bears out on top here. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Giants. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Again, it's Williams. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. The result, a first down as the quick slant gets him 14. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They'll run with Allen. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he gets it down to the 32. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it was against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. Oh, nice move. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. To throw on 2nd down. Murray. Caught right side is Jeffrey. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A good pickup there, a 22. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they call the field general.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now a 1st down carry by Bell. Touchdown, Chicago! Le'Veon Bell, 30 yards. And the Bears will add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Anderson now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
No way to throw on second. Big hold of the 30, and all the way up to the 31-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game, because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They'll let it go deep for Beckham. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Eddie Jackson picks it.